Having a good financial advisor is probably one of the most important things you can do in your wealth building journey. Having a bad financial advisor is quite the opposite. It could be costing you thousands, if not millions, over the lifetime of your investing life, as well as your energy and your time. So the question becomes, how can you tell a good one from a bad one? Believe it or not, it comes down to the questions they are asking you. So today on Mindset, we're gonna talk about 6 questions that every good advisor should be asking you. Today on Mindset with Brad Barrett. Let's go. Welcome into Mindset. I am Brad Barrett. This is producer Jared. And as always, the lovely Kira. Today, friends, we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about what you should be looking at when it comes to a financial advisor, specifically, whether you're working with a financial advisor or just trying to figure out if the one you have is the right one for you. I wanna provide to you 6 questions that I've thought of that they should be asking you. These are good indicators or telltale signs of whether or not the relationship is the right one for you. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about that today. It's a fun one because I am a financial advisor. So
that's a good intro. I want to watch this show.
I hope so.
I'm hooked.
Are you hooked? I'm hooked. Well, speaking of those that are hooked, we always want to thank all of our subscribers. Appreciate you guys commenting, and we've got a few comments this week. So again, we're going to read some of those. It's always fun to answer them and kind of hear what's going on. We also got a voicemail. Again, we had one the other week too. So.
Or not voicemail, what do they call it?
Voice memo.
Voice memo.
Memo.
Sorry, it's different.
Right, just trying to educate the older generations.
What's the comment section going? What are our peeps saying?
Well, really encouraging.
Ooh.
Somebody said, whoa, with their mind being blown. So, I mean, you're blowing minds now. Moving on. Somebody shouted out, you and Jeremy. They said, thankful to have Brad and Jeremy helping us out.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Shout out to Jeremy.
So sweet.
Jeremy's my associate who works with a lot of my clients. He's the man.
Is he the man behind the man?
He's the man behind the man.
Whoa.
He's good people.
This one's actually interesting. Vital Hand Grenade 7210. We're calling them out. He said,
that's a handle.
Right, yeah. For your own peace of mind, you should pay me forever for me to worry about your money so you don't have to. Even though there's absolutely no evidence of proof, I will do better than you while managing your own money. There were some grammar errors, but I appreciate the confidence.
No. He was talking in third person about the video about financial advisors' value.
Oh, is he clowning you right now?
Uh-huh. Fully. I think I read that one too.
Hater.
That's what comments are for.
Hater.
Vital Hand Grenade.
It's interesting because I bet you if we talked to that person, they were either burned by a financial advisor before, which is what we're talking about today, which is a perfect lead in. Because look, friends, like any industry, there are some not so great advisors. For sure. Just like any industry, whatever you're watching right now, whatever you do for work, you know if you can do it well, and you also know people who have the same job but don't do it well. So can we cast and just say everyone's the same way? No, that's why you have the term bad apples. It's not the whole bunch was bad, just there's some.
And side note, hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people, man. I hope
this person was hurt, they're trying to hurt.
Yeah, and we like reading those comments because you know what, man, we're gonna spread some love, dude. I hope you're okay. Or girl, I don't even know. Vital hands, I don't know.
If you're in need of a good financial advisor.
But thanks for listening.
Yeah.
That's what we care about.
Love
Thanks
the
for
comment.
watching. So hey, some are gonna hit, some aren't. Some you're gonna like, some you're not. That's okay. That's good.
It's okay.
Roll the tape on that voicemail.
Hi, Brad. I wanted to ask you a question. I have had a financial advisor now for about 8 years, and in the beginning, I heard from him quite a bit, but I literally have not heard from him in years now. I wanted to find out, I think I'm going to be looking for a new financial advisor, and before I do, I wanted to find out, are there specific questions I should be asking a potential new advisor? Are there questions they should be asking me? I'd also like to know, having a financial advisor for years, how often should I be connecting with them? How often should they be connecting with me? If you could help me out, answer some questions, give me some guidance, that would be super helpful. Really appreciate your help and always look forward to learning new stuff on your show. Thanks, guys.
Oh,
that's sweet.
I love those.
Sweet.
Send us some more of those. Those are great. So that's perfect because this voicemail, hint, hint, was the reason why we did this show today. A lot of times what's fun is, and I've said this multiple times on our show, is that these topics we're talking about are coming from real life situations. Most of the time it's coming from my practice working with advisors. I am a financial advisor of 20 years. I have hundreds of households that we deal with. We received that voicemail or voice memo, I should say. And it was totally perfect prompting.
Well, this is good for us because as a financial advisor, you're going to sit in that seat I myself have one,
Yeah.
but would like to gauge mine and see if he's the right fit for me.
Totally.
If I'm understanding, you are on the what side of it?
I just found out what financial advisors were. So
So on the I don't have one and I am
and I
looking for
probably
one.
should
There you
get
go.
one.
We got it all
Yeah,
right in
yeah.
here. So we're coming to you always with, realness in this whole situation, right? And again, like always, this one came from a voicemail or a voice memo, but a lot of the topics we do every week are coming from real life scenarios I'm dealing with in our practice. And I want to share it with everybody because it's happening, okay? And we're going to answer that question on that voice memo as well about communication. There is no rule of thumb or right answer. The way I approach that for our clients is, how do you like to be served? Like, do you want to meet every quarter or every 6 months or once a year, or what works for you? Also in that conversation is like, are you more of an email person or a phone person? I like to ask that because I've found over 20 years that there are people that are specifically just don't like phone calls. Like my wife, I love her to death. She will try her hardest to never make a phone call. She
Same,
hates.
Veronica.
Yeah. You guys are kindred spirits. I'm like, please just call. This is an easy call. It's like, no, I don't want to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So understanding your client and knowing, like, if I were to call them, you're like, I don't want to talk to this guy, right? But if I email them, say, hey, I'm just checking in, So asking how often and how you like to be communicated with helps set the tone for the relationship. Now, I'm going to get into the 6 points that I think is really important for you to gauge your advisor's relationship and how you're working things. As Jared's checking out his chin there. What we got going on there?
My wife says I should.
How's mine?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Do you know there's a
Kind of like the Job of the Hut.
Don't do this.
I used to take photos like this, trying to be all beefy.
Oh, this way you got to go.
3 chins.
That's called like mewing or something.
It's called something?
Yeah, like when you like try to like suck it up. You know what I mean?
We look how we look. We're coming to you real.
Coming to real.
This is us.
Teenagers do that. I don't know.
So, what are some questions to help you gauge your advisor, or maybe looking at an advisor? What are some questions that they should be asking you? The first question is, can you tell me about yourself? Remember, this is an advisor asking this of a client. I put that at number 1 for a reason. It's really important for us as advisors, if we're doing our job right, to KYC, know your client. It's not just going through a list of like, okay, how much you have in an IRA, how much you have in 401k, how much you contributing, how old are you, right? That can get really stale. And if you had that before with an advisor, one of 2 things is happening. Either they're not really very confident in what they're doing, or they don't know what they're doing. Both are not great.
Does this
right?
show they care about you, or just it's going to help them?
Both. Remember,
Oh,
I
okay.
think, like in all things in life, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So an advisor needs to meet with
like
you and be able to sit with you and say, I want to get to know you, because you tells me, and this is speaking for an advisor, you as a client tells me a lot about how I can work with you and how I can help and add value. It's not just like one size fits all. I think a lot of people think that, oh, what you did for him, you should do for me. Well, no, because I want to know about you. I want to talk about your hobbies, your interests, your goals, your objectives. What season of life are you in? Do you have a career? Do you own the business? Are you an employee? Your values, your relationships. It's a really good introductory discussion for me to understand your life a little bit. So I think number 1, an advisor should be asking you about yourself. If they come at you right out of the gate with, specific numbers on what's your social security number, what's your date of birth, how much money do you make, all those kind of things. Again, one of 2 things is happening. Either they're not comfortable with what they're doing, or they don't know what they're doing. So that's number 1. Number 2, this is where you get into what's going on. What is your pain point? Now, an advisor that approaches this second point,
Did you say pain point?
pain point,
What's that?
pain point
Pain point.
is another one. Like, what's affecting you right now? What hurts you right now? Because a lot of times I meet with a client, they're coming in and there's a reason for it.
Oh, okay.
There's usually a reason. Now, the smart ones are coming because they just there's no reason per se. We're just coming, because we feel like this is the right step. We've heard about you from a referral or something like that, or on a YouTube show or whatever, right? But I would say more often than not, it's a pain point. Something cathartic in their life is happening.
Gotcha.
A lot of times, hey, my mom just passed away. We have an inheritance. Need some help with that. Hey, the stock market was pretty volatile. I kind of lost the other day on my own investing, and I kind of just realized like there's something happening.
Yeah.
So a pain point's kind of like, what's going on? Now, if an advisor that approaches that second question of just like, okay, how much assets do you have, right? That's not I mean, those are important numbers for us to get, but that's not the whole picture. What I'm trying to get when I say, what do you have is, what do you have going on in your life that led you to this conversation? And then through that conversation, you walk through what do they have? And that's where you get into the questions of, I got a 401k, my wife has a 401k, she's no longer working, it's now a rollover IRA, we got some savings account, we got a house with debt. We go through all the discussion points to help build this wealth forecast in this plan. So that's the second question, okay? So third one is, why? So I put this one in there because I'm a huge believer, I almost put this up further, but why you are doing what you are doing with your money, if you can't answer that question for yourself, you need to meet with somebody to help you with this. So why you have it is important for me as an advisor to understand. Because
why I have my retirement accounts?
Yeah. No, it might be simple. I'm like, well, Brad, you told me to. I watched your video on if you have a 401k.
Because you're supposed to.
Because you're supposed to.
Or like, yeah, I want to retire one day.
And that might be the answer, right? There's nothing wrong with that, okay? But a lot of times what I find, this is why it's important, is why you have it. It helps align something. And I give this analogy before, but I call it the financial junk drawer. Like we all, that kitchen, that drawer in your house? Do you have one?
Oh
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That one drawer, it was in your kitchen or like you're somewhere where it's just like this eclectic mix of all these things.
Screwdrivers and batteries and
tapes and scissors and pens
Band-Aids.
and whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Random.
However, I would argue that everything in there is pretty important. It serves a purpose. What happens is I find with this question, when I ask it and when I go through it, I'm getting a sense of why they have it through how they're answering it. And here's what I mean by that is, okay, Brad, I have a 401k plan. I have some savings account. I have a house with a mortgage. I have an insurance policy. I have a long-term care policy, something like this. I have a 529 plan for our kids. And I start asking again this question, why? And usually the answer is, well, my friend from college sells life insurance, and so I got it when I got married. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting, great. Did you get the long-term care with the same person? No, my neighbor sells long-term care, and I was talking to him in the yard, and we end up finding we have all these things that can be very important, don't get me wrong, but there's no coordination to them. This is the financial junk drawer, right? It's there, it's good, but it's not organized well. And it's helps us, this question of why helps us dissect, okay, you did that like 10 years ago. Does it still serve a purpose for you? It might, and it probably does, but we want to then align that with everything else going on. And then now with your objective of retiring and looking at the assets there, making sure it's working for that big picture. And we then go through that plan and say, if it's not anymore, we cut it loose.
So some things might be heading other directions.
Correct.
It's kind of a time to focus.
It is. So asking this question, why, is really important.
I'm a big why guy.
I'm a huge why.
I like to know why.
I do too.
For anything.
All right. Fourth question I think it's important for your advisor to ask you is, how will you use the assets that you have? Now, what that question does is it gets you thinking a little bit. Sometimes the answer might be, I have no idea, Brad. That's where you come in. But it gets things stirring a little bit, right? It also shines some light on the previous question, which was, why do you have it? The whole why thing. It helps you almost answer that, because it's like, if you can't articulately answer how you would intend to use it, then it might not be the right thing for you. Then an advisor will come in and say, well, actually, it's interesting. I would advise that, but I'd change it this way or this way to make sure it works for your goal and your objective for retirement.
And this, when you say how to use it, like when I retire, I want to travel or I want to live here.
Yes.
It's like your specific, almost retirement, like how you want to live when you're retired.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So how will you use it? And by the way, too, that will, as your life progresses, anyone who's lived enough life knows that you'll have seasons. So the current asset might transition, but the general usage of it probably won't. The fifth question is when. So we talked kind of about what, we went through why, now we're going to talk about when. This gets into a broader conversation of when will you be using it. So we talked about, how you will use it, but now when. This starts the conversation about age, about career goals, when you'd like to retire. Our job is to discuss with you a lot of the certain ages, like 59 and a half, 65 for Medicare. Like there's things that we got to bring in, or the age band between 62 and 70 for Social Security. I won't go into all those things, but that's where we come in for the knowledge of age. But when you'll start using it also factors into this.
Now, isn't this always just like as soon as possible.
Well, yeah. A lot of times the client's like, well,
Tomorrow?
Can I use it now?
Right.
And my answer is always like, yeah, but here's what's going on with it.
Yeah.
And then that's the whole thing about like the chasing the carrot thing too. It's kind of like, look, the easy answer for any advisor is always going to be, yeah, if you contribute more and you give it more time, historically speaking, it will grow bigger. So remember, time is your number one commodity. So again, the point of the matter is, even if, and for anyone watching, even if not, you're super on fire and you're stoked to meet with an advisor, even having a discussion with them, knowing that time is of the essence and like that's your greatest asset you have, your 60-year-old self will thank your 22-year-old self, right? That's what we talk about as being older, like looking back,
Or your 60-year-old self will curse.
Yeah.
Your 20-year-old self.
One of the two.
Act wisely.
Right. All right. Sixth and final one. How much are you going to need each year from your investments?
Lots.
Now hold up. I added this in here this is probably the only true numerical question on purpose, right? This is truly a planning question. Notice it came last. From an advisor's perspective, receiving that answer from them gives us a good temperature gauge on some things, right? Because the other day I had a client come in as a referral and she was 56 years old. She was dead set on retiring at 58. I walked through all the same things I've brought to you guys today about these questions, getting to know them and all this kind of stuff. And they had about $250,000 saved up. Again, dead set on leaving at 58. So 2 years later. And when I got to this question, full on said, I need $10,000 a month. And I kind of went through it and had to answer that very honestly and just say, we're going to get about $1,500 from Social Security, no other income, which means you need about $8,500 roughly, not considering taxes for a second, coming from your accounts. Straight line math would say that you got it maybe 2 years max.
The math don't math.
Math doesn't math.
Math is not math.
So you have to approach this also with some, discussion points around education and understanding what that 10K meant to her. We come to find out that it was a lot less that she needed and could use off of, and so we changed the goals a little bit.
But at that point, I figure it's kind of formulas in math. It's just a reality of if you have this or need this, you need to do this.
So the reason why these questions are set up this way that they should be asking you is because that last question is where the math starts coming in. This is where the distribution rates come in and just the sustainability of your numbers. But if a good advisor hadn't walked through those previous questions and jumping to that one, you might have got the answer to it, but there'd be so many unanswered things as to, again, how you'd be using it, why you'd be using it, when you'd be using it, right? Then ultimately later you get the conversation of who you're leaving it to. Anyways, that gets more into the weeds of estate planning, but
For all of these, should somebody come to you with ideas or these answers kind of already made up in their mind? Or if Dylan and I come to you, I'm going to pop up with here's my little savings account and here's what I make every month. And that's all we got.
Great question. No, none of this, you do not have to have this pre-written out or pre-answered. You can, if you're watching this video, it's good for you to think about these things, no doubt. But an advisor's job is to go through this, and while they're getting the qualitative, the why, the who, that kind of stuff, right? We're also able to get some of the numerical data to help instill some more thoughts for you guys to think about. Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Oh, that's interesting. Well, should I add to this account? There's a lot of sub conversations and sub questions that come off it. So no, a client coming into a good advisor in general, a good meeting, you do not have to be prepared at all.
Solid.
If a good advisor is really good at it, they'll help you through it. Let me put one little caveat on that. Coming in and knowing or having with you what you do have is probably a good thing. Hey, I have a savings account. I have a 401k account. This is our mortgage balance. This is our rent. Knowing some of the general numbers, that's about the only thing you need to bring into it because it will just help make it more efficient. But other than that, this is where an advisor's, their job is to help you and go through it.
Right.
And I think the reason why we're posing this first of what the financial advisor should be asking you is it gives you a good gauge of things that how to understand. Because if you are finding in a meeting with a financial advisor that you just met that it's oh man, he's asking some pretty, I'll call it insightful questions. That's a really good indicator that they either are confident in what they're doing, they know what they're doing, and they care about what they're doing.
Well, that's my takeaway, really.
Yeah.
Gauging if that financial advisor actually cares about your well-being and your future, or are they just tick off the boxes. I'm going to make money. You're going to make money probably.
Yeah, they're looking at you like a number. You'll feel that.
Yeah.
That's why I brought up that whole thing about whether you like them or not. There's a gut feel. I think that's a good thing to bring into the situation too.
Yeah.
No doubt, right?
Some discernment.
Yeah, totally. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed that today. Again, 6 questions that I think are really pertinent for any good advisor to ask you. We'll probably come out with a show at some point. I think it'll be good to kind of spark it today about some things that we as clients could reciprocate on, asking them. We'll talk about that as too. But as always, thank you for our subscribers. Every week we come out with new content, new shows. So we're very grateful for the comments, the voice memos we've been getting. We're going to do more of that. So thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We're very appreciative and we love the support and we're looking forward to growing the channel.
I love this. Getting these questions helps us build these shows around there to know we're actually helping some people. I think this is great. So keep them coming.
Keep them coming, friends. And as always, if you lead with love, everything's going to be all right. See you guys next week.
We